So I've been here in Alaska for, 22 years. I've been going out hunting for a number of years, and hunting is the right word. Harvesting is not. This is the first time that I've ever actually harvested a caribou. And I've been on several of the different caribou hunts, the fall hunt, the winter hunt, and the difference being this is the first time I went out there with the right equipment. When I say the right equipment, I mean the equipment that will allow me to actually get where the caribou are. I know that there are some purists who believe in walking as far as it takes to get to where the caribou are. The problem with that is that once you get the caribou, you have to walk all the way back with all of that meat. And I've done the road hunts primarily because I haven't had the four-wheelers or the snow machines to get me out to where the actual beasts are residing at the time of the hunt. In this particular case, I had my snow machine. My friend and I went up and waited. We got there a couple of hours before daybreak. A number of other hunters were already in position, and as we were waiting and watching and seeing what they were doing, we saw a snow machine head out around, 8 o'clock or so in the morning. And as we were sitting there waiting and keeping warm, because it was, a cold morning, we noticed that another 3 snow machines left out from that same general area and went up on the same hill that he went over. Now, we were thinking to ourselves, or at least I was thinking to myself, and talked to my friend who went with me later, what he was thinking, and generally we were thinking that we were going to see what they did, because if they came back with caribou, well, we'd go in that same direction. If they came back without caribou, we'd go in a different direction, right? Makes sense. Well, we see the first guy coming back now as the other 3 stopped. We were having some kind of conversation. We couldn't see at that point. It was still dark enough. We couldn't see if he was successful or not from that distance. But when we saw the 3 of them take off in the direction he had just come from and him coming back our way, we knew that he had to have been successful in his hunt. As he got in closer, we saw, yes, he definitely had a caribou. Time to roll. We got on our snow machines and went up over the hill. Only a mile away, there was the herd. It was beautiful. It was fantastic. It didn't take long. By 9:30 in the morning, we had 2 caribou down. That's when it got crazy, because during the time in which we were getting into position, other hunters, of course, doing the same thing that we were doing, seeing, oh, look, there are caribou in that direction. They started coming up behind us. So after we had our caribou down in the snow, we were hearing the gunshots from hunters in every single direction. And the caribou were continuing to run. What had started out as a group of, 20 or so, was down to a group of 10, and then was down to a group of 4, and then finally down to a group of 2. There was just 2 of them running, and they were running in between the hunters. And so these guys were just following the caribou with their rifles and not paying careful attention to who else was in their line of fire. Now, some of them, obviously, seeing that there were hunters on the other side of the caribou, refrained from taking shots. I'm very thankful for that, because I could have been one of those in that line of fire. Now, is there a solution to this kind of mayhem? Yes. And my solution is this, that we not make it a crazy, go get them all on the same day kind of a hunt. The fact that they manage this herd so down to the number of animals, and just micromanage it, I think it's burdensome to a hunter. It provides a sense of urgency that makes people take risks that they don't need to take. And honestly, it does give an advantage to those who have the toys, to those who have the equipment to be able to get out there where the beasts are quickly. Because people who are walking, well, you know what, you see, oh, look, the caribou up in that direction. By the time you get out there, they've already been scared off by those with the snow machines. So that's my take on it. I'm not sure what you think of it. And obviously, if you're not a hunter, I hope you understand that the main reason why I go is to put meat in my freezer. Although I have absolutely nothing against sport hunting for myself, it's a matter of helping to feed my family. And I would appreciate hearing your perspective on it. Perhaps someday when I have a phone line hooked up, we can talk about it more, and we can talk about other hunts in Alaska. Once again, the website is radiofreespeech.com. Let me know what you think. Steve at radiofreespeech.com. Consider becoming a sponsor, if you will, at radiofreespeech.com. Thank you.